Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, feeling with chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I'm running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling up that's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Wherever we go, we're taking control. The future is ours now. The road never ends. It's me and my friends. These are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Leaving this place, the sun's about to break. You're riding shotgun, the feeling we chase. I'm wide awake, take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy. So I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive, drive. I'm just gonna drive, drive. Friends, these are the good times. And I'm feeling like I could go on forever. And I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Yeah, this feeling I've got's making me crazy, making me crazy.
Got a nice little crowd in there already, too. A lot of people that I recognize. And there we are. Speak.
Okay. Oh. We should be alright and we should be live.
Emergency
Nice
Vehicles is giving away a new truck. A lot of people that I recognize. And there we are.
Get my sound shut off here.
We haven't done this in so long, we have to start over and learn it all over again. Hi, Tommy. I haven't seen you forever. I was worried about you.
Hello to everyone. Great to be back. It's been a long time. Merle's still looking young as ever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Must be nice.
I'll be 39. I'll be 39 next week. Again.
So everybody, yeah, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. We're going to be back Saturday Night Live at 7 p.m. I switched over to third shift, so now I got my Saturdays back. So me and Merle will be back on playing on YouTube on Saturday night.
Tommy said I need more volume. Can you do that from there, or do I need to do it?
I can do it.
What else? Locked and Loaded. Haven't seen you forever. Please pray for my big brother, Donnie. Yes, we will. They gave him 2. Oh, my gosh. I feel bad. What do you say? Words can't explain it.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, brother.
Tommy says volume's way too low. Who is it? Both of us, Tommy, or just me? Or
hey, JoJo, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in here. And there's a lot of good people that are in here. I turned mine up now, so mine should be a lot louder.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get them both in there together. If we got troubles, just let us know.
Got you just
Been
about.
too long.
I just got you pegged right just about out, so.
Mark forgot how to do anything.
I did. It's been so long.
We'll pray for you too, Justin, because I know you need it.
Mark's is good. All right, so mine must be loud enough.
Mark is good.
That's
so where am I at then?
We're
still low. Okay, let me give you some volume from my end then.
Yeah, I thought you were low when you came in.
Oh gosh, I'm hammering it. It ought not be low at all. So you're going to have to make it happen from there, I think.
I got her cranked all the way up. Maybe it'll take a little bit for YouTube land to pick it up. So anyway, guys, what I wanted to tell you is that, yes, we are still live. I want to thank everybody for the emails asking how I was doing. That's great. Miranda, great to see you. City Girl, great to see you. Fred, Tom, Samson, Melissa.
We wish you all well, and we're just happy that you came in to see us tonight.
It's been a long, long time. Obviously, my work is booming, and I've been working, like Merle explained it last night, for a little while. I was working 10 hours, 6 days a week, and then it went to 12 hours, and then I'm on third shift. So I get a little bit more flexibility now, so I'm able to come back on here and get things going. But let's start this thing out all right, like we always do. So everybody, let's say a prayer. Lord, please protect those people that are in this live stream tonight and help those that are in need as we pray over Brother Donnie tonight, and to give him a peace of mind. Lord, I pray that you give Justin and a peace also of mind, because he's going to need it. We've all lost loved ones, and it's not very fun. And please protect those that are away, and please protect our country. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. And I would like to ask for prayer too for my sister-in-law. She is only got one kidney. She was just born with one, and it's not doing well. She's about 75 years old, and it just seems like she's having all kinds of problems. So a little prayer there would help.
Yeah, absolutely. So help out, guys. Keep Merle in your prayers. Keep Justin in your prayers, and his brother Donnie. So now that
just pray for each other and all of our families.
Absolutely.
We'll beat the bad guy.
So as we said in the thing, my little short video, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about gold and silver, what's going on there. This polar vortex that has just decimated the Midwest here. And we're going to talk a little bit about politics and what's going on and some of the things that I've heard about. And some things that are probably coming up here in the near future that most people aren't seeing, and ain't, because it's not on the mainstream media. So, Sandy K, look at that, Sister Sandy. How's it going?
Hi, Sandy. I'm still here in my studio testing the church computer. Replaced the motherboard. Oh my gosh! Tell me, I thought you replaced that once. I hope. I don't know what's going on there. You and I are going to have to get together. I'll call you or something, and we'll have a talk.
All right, let's go through here. And people that are in here, Samson Farms, great to see you. Tommy, great to see you. Melissa. Mary Wigson. I probably pronounced that wrong, but great to see you. Jojo, great to see you. Fred, great to see you. City Girl's in here. She said she'd be right back. Melissa, Miranda, sports fan. Justin from Locked and Loaded is in here. Sandy K. There's Sister Sybil. How's it going? Great to see you. So I hope Homestead Reverence is in here. Great to see everybody. If I missed anybody, I was just going through the. Did I miss anybody, Merle?
Well, I don't know, but we've got a good patriotic crowd. I can tell by looking. Now, you said we were going to talk about politics, too. We can't talk about politics with all these people in here. We'll make somebody mad.
I'm going to talk a little bit about politics because it has to do with what's going on here. You know how it goes. So we are...
I think you're...
Huh?
I think we're all pretty much on the same page here.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things.
Tell us
huh?
I'm sorry. We got just about a third of a second delay, and that makes me want to talk over you, and I'm sorry about that.
We're
tell
rusty.
us about tell us about what you got going on behind you there.
Well, as you can see, this is going to fall into the politics and what's going on in the world and everything beyond that. So, one of the two things that I really needed to get finished on my house or on the homestead is I need a second heat source, possibly even a third heat source. And I've been working in between my job. I've been working on putting a wood stove in, obviously cutting the firewood and getting that ready, redoing some walls in here to put up a hearth and the hearth floor to protect it. So we've been really busy working with that. And one of the things that I didn't know, I thought everybody did it, but Merle told me it's kind of a rare occurrence. I just had a log truck come in and drop off 6 cords of wood. So that's what we've been doing. But when I got my wood, it was nice for a couple days, and then it all of a sudden got 60 below. And there's your polar polar ice age, or however you want to say it. It is really been weird because today it was 39 and tomorrow it's supposed to be 42 here. So it's going to be a really weird change. Actually, I was actually too hot working today. And then to make another long story short, my favorite saw, Dalmar Sachs, 5 years ago got bought out by Makita. So when I went to go pick up my saw, I found out it had Makita written on it, and I'm like, well, I didn't order this. What are you giving me this for? And they said, no, that's the Delmar. So there's a long story short, I guess. What you been up to, Merle?
Actually, it's been so cold for the last 3 days. You know, we get it about 2 or 3 days after you do.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the minus 45 degree range with the wind chill. And I tell you what, we've got some places in this house. Of course, we only heat with wood. So when it gets that cold, it's time to shut off some rooms that you're not using. And my studio room here just happened to be one of them. So it was a little harder to heat than the rest. So I don't know. I watched a lot of TV there for a while.
Miranda says
time to get out and go ahead.
So Miranda says that she's going to come over here when they declare martial law. And,
I can't blame her. Looks like you got plenty of heat.
And Fred says, "Oh no, there's 2 marks." So, and thanks Tommy for the video that I am shooting with there is with my Canon. So yeah, that shoots really awesome videos. And actually, Merle, I did a quick rendering, and it actually looks pretty good. I didn't use the 4K this time. I just used a regular 1080, and it was really good.
Yeah, the 4K is definitely not necessary. 1080 is super clear. Looks like a 35 millimeter photograph to me.
Yeah, but it's really good. Yeah, Miranda, that's only 6 cord right there. And them logs, there are a couple of those logs, I couldn't get the chainsaw through it. I actually had to cut on the other sides.
Fred, what I actually do is I watch YouTube on my television, so I don't watch real TV either.
Yeah, most of my stuff is I've got like Amazon Prime for shipping stuff because of the business. So we just watch TV on Amazon Prime, which actually they have some really cool videos on there. I gotta admit it. They've got Leave It to Beaver. They have some of them old time shows, you know. So, but I really got caught into, and I just finished watching this, and I just was talking to Merle about this the other day, and it's called The Pioneer Quest. And Sybil will love this because it'll bring back memories to her. But they take 2 people from Canada that is in a city, and they put them out on a homestead that has nothing done to it, and they have to stay there for a year. And to watch what these guys do, it's just amazing how many mistakes that are made. And as you sit there and watch it as a homesteader yourself and somebody that has some of these knowledge, you see these guys making humongous mistakes, but at the end I seen a lot of stuff in there that actually really helped me out to give me an idea of building cabins and stuff like that. So it was really cool. Yeah, smash that like button, hit that thing.
Yeah, go ahead and hit them 2 or 3 times. You know, it's just like voting. Come early and stay late. Vote. What is it they say? Vote early and often. Sports fan. I watch the Dixon News Network. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try to do better by that. When it got cold, I couldn't get in here and do anything, so hopefully it's my hope that I'll do 2 or 3 or 4 videos a day, short ones. So
hey, look at that.
Try to keep everybody.
Food Forest is in the house. Great to see you, buddy. Yeah, Sybil, that was a really good show. I really liked that. And then, of course, I've been watching Mountain Men. I like that one too. Getting ideas for trapping and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into some of that stuff tonight because there's a lot of stuff that is really happening quick.
If you guys haven't noticed with this extreme cold weather, there's places in the country down by the equator that are freezing. So there goes our fruit and vegetables are going to go skyrocket. And to make a long story really short, Mama went and got a small cart and went to the local grocery store, and it was like $180. And she's like, we barely bought anything. So I'm really glad that it's the stuff that we do have put away. And, that was just the essentials, the toilet paper, toothpaste, some of that kind of stuff. So watch your prices. They're going through the roof, and it's going to get worse.
I'll tell her you said that, Tommy.
Lever Guns, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that this has all got something to do with the solar minimum, this weather.
I'll be right back, bro.
Okay. If you're not familiar with the solar minimum, just look it up, and it's something that's coming in cycles. So we're going to have Tommy, I'm going to get you. It comes in cycles. I think there's an 11-year cycle, maybe a 100-year cycle, and 200 and 400. Anyway, we're getting ready to go through one, or we're in the middle of it, or at the edge of it, or something. And the weather's just going to be stupid, but it's going to be stupid cold mostly. So it is something to give some thought to. And I'm forever saying, you got to be prepared. So I've decided to say it. Whenever it happens, or, if it happens, be prepared for it, whatever it happens to be. Could be martial law, could be a hurricane, could be a tornado, could be anything. So, but at any rate, the weather's just really stupid. I mean, what we had 2 days ago, it was 10 below zero real temperature. And then today it was 40 something. Tomorrow I think it's supposed to be 50.
Well, I'll tell you what, Merle. That's 60 below. That was crazy cold. We're actually, like you said, you took a breath and it hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful how you breathe when you're out in that, because it'll freeze your lungs up in a hurry. It sure will.
Before I forget though, Sybil, how is everything going with you? You getting better? Glad to see you back in here. I did get your guys' email, Sandy K. I do get and see your emails. Who's another one that sent me another one there? It's just with work and stuff, I'm so busy. It's crazy what's been going on around here, but I do see you guys' emails.
And should you need to send me something, I'm at microhomesteaders@gmail.com. Easy one.
Elf is in here. Great to see you, buddy. Yeah, this is going. This is going crazy because I guess next week we're supposed to get a cold snap, and tonight we're supposed to get freezing rain and some of the other stuff. So, Lever Guns, I do not have you. I am going to. I like what I see. Merle, did you check this guy out?
Oh yeah, I've been a subscriber of his for a long time.
Oh, I'm a subscriber now, and I clicked the bell.
He's got a good channel there. You'll spend some time on that one.
I bet. It looks like it.
I'm just tickled to death to see everybody. I mean, it's been a long time since we saw all these names and logos, and it's just really cool.
Yeah, it's been it's been crazy. I was supposed to be able to cut back on some of this, and I see that they still have not cut back on my work, so.
Well, at least they've got you on a schedule that will give you a Saturday evening where you can do something. So that's good. You know, we can do a live show for 4 or 5 hours or whatever.
4 or 5. No, Sandy, how
I
was it?
think we
How was it?
actually did that once.
Yeah, we did. I haven't been ignoring anybody, Sandy. It's just I got no time. But this is the first time I fired my big computer up in probably, I want to say, 3 months. It's got an inch of dust on everything over here. I don't even come in this room very often anymore, so it's good to sit in a seat and see what's going on. Yeah, Miranda, we had to actually go and we brought the furnace guy in here just in case that something would happen, but everything came out good. So, and the night that it was 60 below, half the town lost its power, Merle. They were using the high school.
I heard about that.
They were using the high school as a warm-up station. So,
Yeah, Tommy had almost forgotten how to troll. He's glad that we given him some practice.
yeah, Homestead.
He's
Homestead says it's going to be 57 there today. It was 60 below last week. I know it's crazy, and that's what I wanted to talk a lot about tonight. Well, there's a few things. If you guys haven't noticed, for us that watch the gold and silver prices, a month ago I bought some silver, and it was right around $14.54 an ounce. And the last time I checked, and that was Friday, it was over 16. So things are starting to really progress and happen. And Merle has a story with the silver and gold.
Well, what you got to keep in mind too is it takes about $15 to get silver out of the ground. So it's being kept at a low price by people that are trying to steal our money. So
Amen to
it's
that.
not it's just not the real price of gold and silver is not what it appears to be. So and I even heard actually, and I talked to Mark about it, the fact that they're saying that there's even the possibility that silver may become more valuable than gold. So
And that's
something
kind
to
of
think
that's what I
about.
want to talk a little bit about, because right now you know gold is at what is it, 1200 and something an ounce right now, and you can get yourself, yeah, Joel says that gold's up $20 this week. That's what I'm saying, guys. If it goes to a monetary system and we get out of the debt system, it is a great thing, because when it does come back to the one world currency, or however you want to do it, we really need to have a tangible something in our hand. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
yeah, I think
Elf says that axe head's getting close to your head. This log's coming too. Better duck, Merle.
for those of you that have any, you're trying to hit me. For those of you that have any money, and I don't happen to be one of those people, but I follow the gold and the silver and the fiat currency like I actually have money to spend, but I don't. I just like to know what's going on. But the thing is, they're telling me that if you are a person of means, and I don't mean millionaires, but if you've got some extra money, that you could buy some silver, especially silver. I'm big on silver right now. But if you can buy some silver and gold, you could end up with enough money when this is all said and done to retire, because it's going to go up that much. But what's going to happen in the meantime is we're going to have a reset in the currency, and I could be totally wrong, but I think we're going to have a global currency. I think, if we don't blow each other up in the meantime, I saw some problems that we're having with Russia there, but hopefully they'll get that all squared up. Anyway,
The other thing too,
the
Merle,
thing is, silver will always be worth something, and so will gold. But fiat currency will not always be worth something. Hi, two-seaters. Welcome.
Welcome to Cedars. What I wanted to talk about is you guys, those that are, when it comes to money, and a lot of people don't have where they can go and they can drop and go buy some silver or some gold. So we're not saying that, but if you look at behind me, here's a great bartering tool. I live in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. It gets cold. I'm looking at probably going to come up with about 3 years of wood, cut and split. Great bartering tool for heat. Eggs, whatever's on the homestead, vegetables. Those are the things that you can actually barter with and look and see what we can do with it. So don't be thinking, oh, we gotta go and we gotta do this or we gotta go and do that. There's things that you got that are very valuable to someone else. You just gotta find out what it is. RG, great to see you. Two-seaters. Good to see you too.
And just because you don't have $5 or $10 or $20,000 to spend on gold or silver, that's okay, because a piece of silver that you can buy now for $20, I'm hearing, could be worth upwards to $1,000 or more. So if you can buy 5, 10, 15, 20 pieces, especially, and I'm a little bigger, I've told Mark, I'm a little bigger on the Silver Eagles, the United States silver coin, because it's not counterfeited like some of this other stuff is, and it's always going to be worth something. Always. I don't care what happens. It's always going to be worth something. But if you can only buy 5, buy 1. But take advantage of getting it while it's cheap, because it looks like it could be heading way up there. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Chile, great to see you. Hello from Chile, South America. Hope it's warm down there.
I bet it's not chilly down there, I'll tell you.
But
welcome. We're happy you made it.
Copper and lead, yeah, there's another couple good ones there. We really... Go ahead.
For the expats, I'm curious, what would it cost somebody, a man and a woman that wants to retire, to live, in a decent place in Chile? If you can answer that, I'd appreciate it. Not that I'm heading that away just yet, anyway, but you gotta be ready.
It's 100 degrees in there. Huh?
Whoop, typo.
I'll tell you what. When I was doing my research, if I actually had to go somewhere, I think it'd be Fiji. They closed the area over there. You don't have to worry about bad weather. 70 degrees all the time.
Seems like YouTube is pushing the Philippines for some reason or another. I don't know what the deal is.
Hey, Allie, good to see you. The Anointed One. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
It's been really... I'm hoping that with Fiji and stuff like that, if by chance I don't think I would do that, but, if you look at their environment, you could grow stuff out there. You could live in a hut. Don't ever have to worry about it. They ain't too much for bugs. So...
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. I just like to know what it costs to live in those places.
Fiji volcanoes. Yeah, I don't really want to go with that one. Yeah, Fred, right now my log splitter is my left and right arm, as you can see. What's neat about this is, especially in the wintertime, is logs split really, really easy in the winter when they're cold. I wouldn't want to be doing this in the summertime, but in the wintertime it's not bad at all.
Up until the weather got bad, the wife and I have been cutting wood to finish out this year, and then when the weather straightens out here a little bit, and maybe we get something that's reasonable on a daily basis, we'll go back out and start in again for next year. So
And
we've got plenty to do on that.
Howie's got a really good point. If in a time of need, gold and silver ain't gonna get you. It ain't gonna fill up your belly. It's not gonna keep you warm. None of that stuff. So you still need your rations. You still need to be looking at your food and stuff like that. But at the same time, if the economy comes back, if you have that silver in the back up there, you can pay, if it's your taxes or your house, like Merle said, if silver goes that high, you can take a chunk of silver and pay your house off. So that's kind of the reasons I'm looking at it. Another thing there, Fred, one thing good about splitting wood is it's great exercise. I got to try to stay up tonight because I got to sleep tomorrow, and I think I'll be sleeping halfway through the night here.
Speaking of silver, though, I got a little bit of silver that I've had for more than 20 years, and it was I was just thinking about it the other day. It was $6 to buy a Silver Eagle. So, it has come up a little bit, but it's still way lower than what it ought to be when it costs $15 to get it out of the ground.
Yeah,
thanks for telling me, Tommy. I didn't know, and I'm sorry to walk on you there. Mark, go ahead.
That's what I was going to say, is Tommy just said that. People don't know what that is. That's a world of live streaming. So, Merle and Tommy have been a part of that, so I've been over there a few times. Yes, Andy, we have a shed, a 10 by 10 shed that we're stacking that into, and that whole shed just smells like fresh wood. That's all green wood too, so it's been fun.
That piece that you just set out there looks like it's about 20 inches long.
There isn't a small, well, put it this way, the one that I keep leaning on all the time, my saw blade doesn't fit all the way through there, and I got a 20-inch bar, so I got to try to tackle them from both ends. But yeah, them are some seriously big logs.
That one you're getting ready to split there, though, I thought you were cutting it at about 12 inches. That's more than 12 inches, I think.
Yeah, there isn't. Some of the stuff on the other side over there is 12 inches, but none of these are. Merle likes cutting, that's why I put this video up.
Thanks for the thumbs up, Anointed One, and
thank you, Allie.
Oh, yeah, you can't eat gold for sure. So that being the case, that's something else to talk about. Have all your food preps first. Make sure you've got all that first before you start buying anything, any gold or silver.
Tommy's starting his own channel. It's called Rednecks Gone Wild.
I thought he already did that. Yeah, I would say, and Mark and I, we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. We've decided that if you can, about 3 years worth of food in the pantry is probably a good idea. If you can't get that far, if you can't get that much, just do whatever you can. Start out with a couple of weeks and then see if you can get it to a month and go from there.
Take care, Melissa. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, and come back.
I forgot
how to visit your channel too.
I forgot how to spell or type.
Well, Tommy, we'll find you a red Speedo. We'll get you one sent over to your house.
So actually, I got that one log I'm working on now, Merle, and the one behind it, and the one behind that. I got them all cut up today. So we got a lot of stuff done. I was actually pretty happy with our accomplishment.
That's a 20-inch there, Tommy. So that gives you an idea how big them logs are.
Well, it's awfully nice to have your logs just delivered to the driveway. Man, I got to go out and cut the tree down and cut it up, split it, throw it in the truck, and then drive it back home. But it's only about 10 minutes from here to where we cut, so that works out pretty decent. Uh-oh. Boy, I tell you, that one's heavy, ain't it?
Yeah.
You can't see it. He said, "No, I think I'll let that sit there a while."
I'll tell you, that was like, I forgot what it was like to wrestle with logs.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure.
So yeah, we were going to talk about, we're going to talk about the silver. We're going to talk, oh, it's your turn, politics. With this, everything that's been going on in politics, guys, it's already put in place. They already know what's going to be going on. They have this thing already set up. So what you're seeing is just kind of like a dancing pony show. Trump is trying to do what he can without being his hands as tied as they are. One of the things that got me kind of stuck right now is that, you know, he was so talking about abortion, and after the thing that came up in New York City, I kind of pulled away from I like what Trump has done. I like some of the things, but you know, he made a promise for the abortion thing, and if he really, really wanted to stop abortion, I think he could put his foot down and get it done. Because now, up to the child is born, it's okay for them to abort. That's just murder in my eyes. That's not right. So there's been some things that's got me really fired up about the politics lately.
I could be wrong, but if I understand it correctly, they're just trying to push that law through in New York City, or in the state of New York, and I don't believe it's been voted on and okayed yet. So, you know,
I pray and I hope that it doesn't.
Well, it's murder is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, they have set it up in this law to where you can abort a baby when it's on the way out now, and I'm not trying to be vulgar either, but it could be, that head can be crowning, and she can say, "Oh no, let's abort it." Come on, people, that is murder any way you want to look at it.
Yeah, like Allie says too.
Period.
You know, before you had to have 3 doctors sign and say something, and they're trying to get away from that, and I don't see how murder, you know, how he says it right. Murder is murder. Especially with a child, you know, that's just, sports fan, yeah, New York is doomed. It is so wrong what they're thinking, and what'll happen is, you know, I always thought California was a state that tried everything, but once it starts to get going, I can just see this rolling. And you got to remember, guys, check out Georgia Guidestones. You know, I can't say it enough. It says it, second one down. It's to control the population.
And don't forget, too, that they are trying to do away with the Electoral College. So that would mean that New York, Chicago, and California could elect whoever they wanted to. So we got to fight that. And by the way, while I'm at it, in that video that I put out last night on the other channel, the Dixon News Network, by golly, did anybody watch The Seething Frog? And you know, had you already watched him? And if anybody can you give me any feedback on whether you thought that was a good idea or not? I appreciate it.
Sandy says that New York State passed it, and Virginia is next, and now Vermont. So it's going to be a trickle effect.
and it's going to start working its way down. So, if you can, call your Congress, call whoever, tell them, you're not up for this, and I hope that they're going to figure this out, that this is what the far left wants. This is not what the normal American wants. It's crazy.
No, it's plain nuts is what it is.
Yeah, Allie, the Democrats are responsible for this crazy bill. You got that right.
And this thing about the yellow jackets, that I was talking about in the other video. Now I'd really like to see that catch on. We could at least make our presence seen, whereas we're sitting in here in our houses and we're all upset about some of these laws that they're passing, but we're doing nothing about it. The very least we could do is put on a yellow vest or a neon vest or what have you, and get our butts out there and let them know that, we're tired of it. And that's what I think we got to do.
Sports fan said that she's been making calls and sending emails. That's awesome, sister. We do have a say. We really need to be capable of talking and capable of saying things in a decent way, but get the job done. And the problem with their politicians for a long time now is they talk the talk until they're in there, and then it seems like either they sit on their hands or they look the other way. But it's been really not a good thing at all. We're never getting anywhere. If we're sitting here fighting amongst each other in the House and in the Senate, and you can't get anything passed, it's terrible. I used to live out in Arizona. Here's another thing that's been now that I'm on my soapbox, is a wall. If you think about it, the wall stops drugs from coming in the country. Yeah, they're going to go underneath. They're going to go through the doors, but it helps to stop some of the people that are coming in there. They've got children climbing this wall trying to get up there and over the top. So we need some kind of barriers to stop people from trying to get into ours illegally. Come in here normally through the normal chain, that's great. But coming in, and because you think about the coyotes that are bringing these people across, they're lying to them, saying it's easy. You got these big, huge marches that are coming through, and these caravans that are coming up here. Where do you think that this all starts from? They're getting their money from somewhere. You can't take 2,000 or what is it now, 3,000 people, and get that going and trying to stop that. So.
Yeah, and Elf Lord, the old people, they're already doing that in the hospitals and the nursing homes. In fact, my mother died about 15 years ago, and I'm totally convinced that they killed her in the hospital. I really and truly believe that they did, that they gave her enough pain medication, and she was, they figured she was old and she was hurting. So they just gave her enough to push her right on over the cliff. And I know that they're doing it. I know for a fact that they're doing it in the nursing homes. And that's, I don't know, it's just something I don't think ought to be happening. But good grief, if they'll kill kids as they're being born, what won't they do?
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for people like us to get off our butts and go do something about it.
Yeah, Allie.
The very least we.
Go ahead, Merle.
The very least thing that we can do is be seen and be heard. And sports fans, she's making phone calls. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Allie, they've been doing that for a long time. Harvesting body parts, human farming. It was just if you guys go do your research, Google has buried it. But if you type it in exactly, you're going to find out some really big names of food, drink industries that are using fetuses, unborn baby parts for food flavoring.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and she also said about they're trying to kill us for our food, and that's exactly right. If you look how people used to eat compared to how they eat now, I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not going to get any better either. Quick, you know. Here, what are we? We're just one of the few countries in the world that allows GMO food. I mean, you pour weed killer on it and then you eat it. Come on, people, wake up. We don't. It's not good for you.
Yeah, Sandy,
you
hit.
can't.
Sandy hit that one
Can't do
right on right on the head right there. One of the big names.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is, most of the big names are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, aside from the fact that it's just plain sickening, it's not good for you to do that. It's not good for you to eat other people.
No, but cannibalism is a way of the devil, and it's kind of written in the Bible that way, and that's a way for him to get his little fingers into everything that we're doing. So, the movie Wall-E is our future.
I can't think of the name of those that fetus flavoring, but it does have a name, and you could probably look it up. Probably not Google, but you can probably look it up on the internet and look at your products in the grocery store. Although at this point, I don't think they even have to list it.
No, they've been hiding it. So,
but some of them are, because it's a name that you wouldn't know what it was. Most people wouldn't.
for those that are wondering, them facilities, Sybil has got a good list of some of the big names that you can find on there. She just wrote it in the chat. So just be careful what you're doing.
I just saw that list the other day, and it there's not too many companies that are left out of it. It's just, you go through the grocery store and you're going to get it whether you want it or not. So you got anything that's processed. Let me get on my soapbox for a second here. Anything that's processed, you just don't want. If you can find something else to eat, please do. If it's in a box, you probably don't want it because it's not good for you. And there's no doubt in my mind either that that's why a lot of people are actually dying, because they're poisoning us at the grocery store. I mean, that sounds crazy, but it is happening that way. So anyway, we could have found something nice to talk about, but I don't know. It's been a long time, and I think we just had a lot built up. You know what I mean? Anyway, I didn't hear anybody say anything about the yellow vests, so if you guys would, just do me a favor and look up the Seething Frog. The Seething Frog on YouTube, and look at his last two videos. It'll take you probably 15 minutes to watch them both, and see if you think it's a good idea. And it'll cost you maybe $10 for a vest. So
the other day I went downstairs, Merle, and I grabbed some of that apple juice that we made this summer, and was that delicious. It was just like I cracked and stuck a straw right into that apple. It was amazing. So it does help to make your own stuff, and there's ways to cure, save, process, do anything. So
this year was the first year that we made our own ketchup, and man, am I ever happy we did that, because it tastes better. and you know what's in it. You don't have to worry about what's in it. If you make it yourself, you grow it yourself. You take your food and you turn it into something that you can put in a can and put it in your basement or whatever. Ain't nothing like it, folks. And I know that all of you can't do that. But, whatever you can do, yeah, it's the seething frog. And his idea, just quickly, his idea is to
Hang on, Merle.
do
Hey, vegan dolls, where this is a kind, and I've been watching what you've been saying. I don't want to knock you out of here, so just keep your the guns, the jokes to yourself, that kind of stuff. It's not nice. Guns aren't everything. There's a lot of people in here that we believe the power of God will help us too, so just be careful what you say. There's a lot of good people in here, and I don't want to bunch out, but be careful what you're doing.
Yeah, and by the way, on that same note, we got to have guns. So we're not saying that. Man, there's bugs in here. Anyway,
Jeff's wife, Christy, thanks for joining us.
The yellow vest thing, all it is all this guy's talking about is doing it to get attention, to show that there are people that are tired of what's going on. And there were some people that were saying, oh, well, we don't want to offend Trump, because he's taking care of things. Well, he's not taking care of everything. No man is capable of taking care of all of it. They need to know that the American people are tired of this crap, and the only way we can do that is to get out there in force. We're many, 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 many people. Well, it wouldn't take much to get a million people. We wouldn't have to all be in the same spot. There could be 5 here in my little town, and there could be 20 in a town down the road, But if you'll just hear him out, and by the way, he's not trying to make any money. His channel doesn't make any money. He won't accept money from anybody, and it's just an idea that he had, and I think it's a pretty good one, but we'll see how it works out.
Take care, vegan.
I'm out of breath.
Take care, vegan. Hope we didn't offend you. We just are trying to be kind and nice to everybody, and everybody's opinion is their opinion. So, guns are...
Yeah, I missed...
Huh?
I'm sorry, Mark. I missed whatever it was that there was there, but yeah, I got to say that I'm definitely a gun guy, and we got to have those.
I might have a few. So,
never give them up.
Nope.
Never. I'm like Trump. You never, ever, ever, ever give up your guns, no matter what.
Well, you look at this too as I was when I went to third shift, I never had keys to my house. I always left my house open, and the first night or first morning I came home, that was the second morning I came home. Mama didn't wake up to unlock the door, so I'm out there banging on the door, and I'm like, what are you possibly worried about? Anything coming in this house? I said, we have 2 gigantic dogs that will just tear anybody up that would ever walk through that door. I said, you have no worries. And I said, not only that, I said, you got the big gun vault. So,
yeah,
I really don't, to me, now, I guess, more than anything, I have my things set aside. Merle knows that. To me, right now, they're just sitting there, and I'm dusting them down every while I can, but they're not the top of my priority list right now. Everybody does need a weapon, if it's for food, survival, protection, however you want to look at it. But I think right now the biggest thing is being prepared physically, mentally, and you really got to be careful of what you do and how you. Right now, if for spending money, Merle and me had this talk many times. Try to get all your bills paid off. Try to get your house paid off. Try to get your stuff all paid off. So the least amount of debt that you have. So that, guys, we are going into this hole. I don't think there's anything that's going to turn it around. So we have to make sure that we're taken care of as a family, and then we're taken care of as our outer family, friends, neighbors, whoever. But this isn't going to get any easier. I'm sorry. It's going to get a lot worse.
Good night, Tommy. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, and I know that many of you folks out there are much younger than I am. And I'll try to tell you a quick story. When I was maybe in my 25 to 30 years old, you could still buy a home and depend on that home as something that you could use as an investment. You simply cannot do that right now. You can't do it.
Well,
you can buy a home.
That was huge collateral as your home.
That's exactly right. It does not work that way right now. And if you go out and buy a new truck, it's what, 40, 50,000 and up? I'm thinking. So you're going to finance that for I don't know how many years.
They can go now. They can go all the way to 7 years.
Yeah. See, so what you're doing when you sign the papers on that new truck is you're saying to yourself, I'm going to buy this truck in hopes that I have a job and I make enough money to pay for it.
Well, hang on here, Merle. We're going to do the math here because a lot of people don't realize this, but if you take a 7-year loan, and let me get to my stuff here, just some quick calculations. So continue talking, but we're going to jump back to this because this is, I even did this for the house because when I saw how much I was actually paying for my house for a 30-year loan, I just about flipped.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is. But to make my long story short, don't buy anything on credit unless you absolutely have to. Get yourself out of debt if you possibly can. If you've got credit cards, start with them because that's where the interest rate is the most. And they will make it look like you're not paying as much interest as you are, but they will rob you. And I mean they will rob you.
So let's say you go out and buy a new truck, and I'm using these numbers because these are the numbers. A buddy of mine at work just bought a brand new Chevy, and he's paying $903 a month, and he has this truck for 7 years. So at $903, you times that by 12 months, so you're paying $10,000 a year, almost 11. You times that by the 7 years, that is $75,000, and he bought a $45,000 truck, and he's paying $75,000 on that truck with interest at them rates.
Yeah, and on top of that, once he gets it paid for, it's a piece of junk.
Yeah.
A 7-year-old truck, I mean, it could be. It just depends. But the big thing, guys, just don't. Force yourself if you can. I know I was the same way when I was younger. If I could, I would look at my paycheck and this thing that I wanted to buy, whatever it was. And if I could afford those monthly payments, by gosh, I was going to buy it. But that's not the right. It's not the right thing to do. And
if you look at
I'm telling you from experience, if you can stay out of debt, you'll be happier, much happier.
Perfect example is when I was looking at chainsaws. I couldn't believe how much a chainsaw costs right now. It's crazy. You're looking at, for a decent chainsaw, anywhere from $500 to $700, and if you go into the Pro Series, it's $1,000 and up.
Yep.
I was floored by the cost, and it really shows how much, if you think about it, back in Merle's day. And the reason why I say this is because this is my grandma's day and everything else. I remember my grandpa going down to the gas station or wherever, you go buy a pack of cigarettes for 75 cents, $1. I remember him when he's filling up it was 25 cents a gallon for gas. The milk we got from the farm, so it wasn't a big deal. Loaf of bread, stuff like that. If you even remember going to get a candy bar, it was a quarter. So look at that.
Yeah, well, I heard somebody say the other day that a dollar's worth about 3% of what it was 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably not far off. But it's not going to get any better. I have been fortunate enough to be out of debt at this point in my life. But, I got to say that I was lucky to do that because I didn't always do the right thing. Like I said, if I saw something I wanted and I could afford that extra payment, by golly, I was going to have it. And my kids, they got older and did the same thing. And my son's got two trucks that are within a couple, 3 years of being new. Man, oh man, can you imagine the payments on those things? I don't know. I'm probably just blabbering on here, but don't take the debt. Please don't.
That's that's kind of funny is because I just bought my house in 2017, so I'm like, hey, everything is getting better. I'm gonna go and build a homestead and everything else, and then I have this big plan in the back of my mind is that you take a 30-year loan out on your home, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it in 15. I'm gonna get it done, cut it in half. You really have to stay close to what and if you have a budget, or if you don't have a budget, build a budget. There's software on every computer now where you can actually build yourself a budget. Let me tell you, when you see what you're nickel and diming yourself for, and I'm terrible. I'll go to the gas station every day. It's crazy. But you really got to get yourself a budget, stick with that budget, and you'd be surprised how much money you can save. Just by, I don't really need this, or I'm not going to go to the grocery store today and buy a 6-pack of soda. Instead, I'm going to take water with me, or something in that category. Coffee, huge one. I can't believe the cost of coffee right now. So
Yeah, you're right. What you said, you can just nickel and dime yourself to death.
Yeah, you can.
Literally, you can.
And if you look at it this way, is there's a lot of people that are out there that say, well, I can't buy stored foods, or I can't put my stuff away because I just don't have that extra money right now. But they'll go Friday night and they'll go out to have a fish fry, which is $20, $30, whatever it costs for fish fry. But you could have went and bought yourself some canned or dried foods with that and put that away. I'm guilty of doing the same thing as, I'm going to wait this week because I want to make sure that I have enough for everything else going by, when I just went and blew $60 at a restaurant. We really have to now check things over and make sure that we're spending our money wisely.
Something that fits right in here too is, it was either yesterday or today I saw where General Motors either has laid off or is going to lay off 4,000 people. Those are salaried people who are used to making really good money. What are they going to do now? They're sitting there with 2 new trucks, or a new truck and a new car and a boat and a cabin in the woods. What are they going to do? Because they're not going to be able to find enough money to pay for all that stuff.
Sorry to hear that, Sid. Sid says here's somebody who went by and cut all 4 of his tires. It's going to cost him $150 for the repairs.
Wow. Well, could have been worse, I guess.
That's the thing is, right? Right now everybody is dealing with tight money. And that's kind of why tonight, we're talking about silver, we're talking about gold, we're talking about finances, the economy, stuff like that. Right now, everybody's having problems. So you really got to look at, where can you pinch the pennies? Where can you put things away? How can you, come up with food ideas to help yourself out? And, look at things in a different aspect of it. There's a lot of schemes out there, so be careful on that. One I just heard about recently is and I might be wrong on this one, it was in Thailand, somewhere in a different country. An investor went and bought $3.4 million in gold. He got his gold and he took it in, and it was worth right around $50,000 because he just got scammed. And Merle has been telling me about that one for a while, about making sure that you're buying U.S. backed gold or silver coins. Don't go and buy somebody from a third party. Make sure they're reputable. Be careful what you're spending your money on.
If you buy bullion, especially gold, just be sure you buy it from a reputable dealer, not somebody at a coin show, or you probably are going to get scammed. But that's why I kind of stick with the government coins, because they're in the silver eagles. They're not really worthwhile to counterfeit because it costs too much to make them. So that's kind of where I'm at on the thing. I don't have enough money to buy gold, so
that makes two of us.
every once in a while I can buy a silver eagle though for $20. But they, as of the other day, they probably went up $1 too. So what they usually are is about $3 over spot. So if silver is $15, it'll cost you $18 for a coin. And generally they'll ship it to you, so you've saved, the extra money that you paid, $3 you paid for the coin, you saved in shipping. So I don't know how you can go wrong, really. Gold and silver, neither one will ever be as cheap as it is now. Never again. Buy junk wedding bands, you betcha. Yeah, especially if they're 14 karat. You betcha.
Don't mind me. You guys don't forget, if you can, make sure that if you have Twitter, tweet us out. Let everybody know that we're on. We appreciate it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. And it does help. Everybody thinks that when you do that you're just helping out the channel that you're giving a thumbs up to. It does help you out too, because it shows that you're part of this as much as we are. So it gives your channel a boost also, because everybody gets the whole thing going. So
when it happens, whatever it is, it wouldn't hurt to have some old silver coins from United States, old silver coins before 1964. It would, because those are going to be good to buy stuff with. It would be yet to be determined what an old quarter might be worth. It might be worth a pack of cigarettes, or it might be worth 2 packs of cigarettes, or something to eat,
Hey, Bernie, great. Thanks for coming by and being a part of the live stream. Glad to see you.
But a lot of people think that even in the bad times, the coinage, even in the new stuff, you'll still be able to use that. The paper money's not going to be any good, maybe, but the coinage probably will. They'll still use it for trading material. Anything small and identifiably. I think that's what you said. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, anything small Mark and I, we we neither one drink, but we were thinking too. It wouldn't hurt to have a case of like half pint bottles of vodka or rum or whatever.
Well, see,
Some
vodka's a good one, Merle, because you can make your tinctures, and that's
vodka,
medicine.
right?
So,
Some people would want it just for the medicinal value, and other people just have to have it because they have to have it. So something like that would be good to barter with.
Another thing too is the brandy. Back in the day, everybody knows Grandma's remedy was a shot of brandy. You're sick or you're feeling ill or you had a toothache or anything like that. That was the first thing they went for, is the brandy. Here, take a little swig of this. So
Yeah.
Passion for hunting and fishing. Thanks for stopping in here. Glad to see you.
Yeah, Sybil, it seems like everybody's got a little bag of something, some silver coins that they've seen in their change that they got back. Oh, that reminds me. I watched a video the other day about these guys that are going to the bank and they're buying rolls of 50-cent pieces. And believe it or not, they're actually finding old silver coins in some of those rolls. I watched them undo, I don't know, a whole box of them, which is $500. A box of them is $500. And out of that one box at least, I think they got 10 silver coins. So for all that work, because they had to go get them and all this, that, and the other, and unwrap them and look at them and all that, they might have made $20. But hey, $20 they didn't have. It's kind of cool to find, if you're going through that stuff, to find that silver coin in there too.
Yeah, Miranda, people will pay a lot for whiskey. The other thing is you can make you can make your own. So.
Oh, and people will too. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I should have said people do, but more people will.
Yeah, it's a lost art. For the good stuff, anyway. There's the other thing. What else are we going to talk about tonight, Merle? I had 4 things.
I don't know. I think we kind of hit just about everything. Well, I would like to bring, since Mark he's got this wood back here, I would just like to say that especially if you have electric heat, you should be thinking about having some kind of a backup. Because if the electricity goes out, you're going to have to find somewhere to go.
And let's talk about that one right there, because the electricity is not if or when. It will.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it will. It will eventually go. And that could be from a coronal mass ejection from the sun, or it could be from a missile or what have you. There's all kinds of ways that we could lose electricity, and not the least of which is just old equipment. But at any rate, if you live where it's cold and you don't have a backup source to that electric, you're living on borrowed time, and I'm not kidding. If you can't do anything else, if you're in a place where you can't use a wood stove, or you're unable to get wood or what have you, the least best thing that you can do, I think, is probably get a kerosene heater. And they've got some pretty good fuel for those that doesn't smell like kerosene nowadays. I think Mark just bought one just to have here lately. So,
well, yeah, let's talk about that right there. Obviously, I'm in the process right now of putting my wood stove in. The chimney's going to go in here in the spring because we have to put up a brand new chimney through the house. And at 60 below, per chance that the power would go out, you don't got a whole lot of time. And Merle was telling me, hey, why don't you go check out one of them kerosene heaters? So I did. Just for a one-room heater, just in case, and thank God I didn't have to use it. But, excuse me, but it's really good to have, and they do, I mean, it's a little bit pricey. I think it was 20 gallons for 2.5 or 2.5 gallons of this kerosene that Merle's talking about, the stuff that really is smell free and stuff. But it's a really good way to keep yourself warm.
Good night, Manny. Thanks for coming and staying. Novice Code Searcher, welcome too. I didn't see you up there a while ago.
Hey, there he is, buddy. How's it going? Yeah, see you later, sports fan. You really need to look at, especially in my kind of environment where it is really cold here, and lately it's been really, really cold here. 2 heat sources, 3 heat sources is better. Remember the always the threes. 1 is good, 2 is better, 3 is great. It's always good to have that last fall on. You might never have to use it, but I'm sure I'm glad that I got it there just in case I do.
What is it they say? 3 is 1.
Yep.
And it goes down to 1 is none.
Yep, exactly. You think about it. If the power goes out, for most people, your furnaces are gone, anything like that. You're without heat. You can't cook. You can't do anything. Now, if let's say you're cutting wood, most wood burners have a fan on them. They're blowing. So your electricity is hooked up to your furnace if you're burning wood. If you got hydronic heat outside that you're burning wood, it's still got the pumps. It's got everything outside. It's electrical. That goes out, you have no heat. So you got to come up with a way that you can have heat, you can cook, you can do sterilized water, whatever it is. And that's the other big thing is water. Water is a huge thing. And if you guys haven't checked them out, you can find them on Google. And it's called the Life Straw, and it's for deep wells. They actually finally made one for a deep well extract. And we'll be checking that out. There it is. Sybil's got it. 3 is 2, 2 is 1. 1 is none.
Yeah, that's it. I had a feeling she might have that. Yeah, it's water is something that people don't think enough about. It really is, and we I don't know, it's been 7 or 8 years ago, we bought one of the big Berkeys. It's not the biggest one. I think it's maybe 1.5 gallons or 2 gallons or something like that. But for 2 people, it works out rather well. A couple of $100 with fluoride filters and the other filters.
Take care, Bernie. God bless. Be safe.
But you can take pond water and filter it through a piece of cloth or what have you, and then put it in that Berkey, and it'll come out ready to drink. So,
you guys remember too is there's another trick too, is if you gotta find a bottle, 2-liter bottle, whatever else, you can use charcoal, firewood that you burn down, anything like that, some stones and some grass, and you can make your own filter system that'll take out a lot of that stuff.
Yep. And if you've got a Berkey, what Mark was talking about there is still a good idea. Go ahead and get that water as clean as you can, because it's going to lengthen the life of your filters. So, yeah.
Well, they shut down, that's great. In my city, they shut down wood burning by law when the air quality drops. Well, see, there's just way too many laws on this and too many laws on that.
Yeah, and I may be wrong, but if it happens, you can take that law right there and, just set it aside, because people are going to burn wood.
Hey, Sandy, great. Sandy Williams, thanks for joining us. That would be Code Seekers. I'm thinking that's his wife. If I remember right. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube. So,
Cool.
Novice
Yeah,
Code
well,
Seeker.
that's something else. We're going to try to get back on regularly
Yep.
on Saturday night at the same time.
So if you guys
Mark's
have,
going to be on this shift for some time at least, so should be okay. And I hope we can get the numbers back up there. And I don't know, we had a pretty good crowd tonight. I saw looked like there was about 20 people in here at one time or another.
awesome crowd.
And I just hope that some of this stuff that I talk about doesn't put you to sleep. But you know, you heard about the wise old owl. You know, the truth of the matter is, when you get older, you just kind of know more stuff if you did anything. So I can't say that I'm always right, and I don't know it all, but some of it couldn't hurt.
She says you can't sell your house if the stove doesn't meet certain standards either. Yeah, Elf, I just went through that because for me putting in the wood stove here, I've got to have pictures of the hearth floor. I have to have pictures of the hearth wall, how I built it, what I used. The chimney guy has to be certified. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about there, and I got to keep all them records when I want to sell a place. So, they're getting really stricter on how to do stuff. That's why, you know, it's so much easier living a simple life and doing the things that way, because you don't have to go through all this red tape.
Yeah, I'm not so sure it's such a bad idea to make sure things are done right, because a lot of people, you know, we don't have as many laws as you guys have got out there about certain regulations for this, that, and the other. But in a lot of cases, those regulations aren't that bad. But I guess what I'm trying to say is some people will screw things up so bad that it'll get somebody hurt if somebody's not watching over them a little bit.
Take care, RG.
But like I said,
We'll see you next week.
good night, RG, and hope I'll try to find you somewhere through the week. Maybe I can get to some of your stuff. I haven't been getting out to see everybody like I used to, so I want to try to change that too.
New Year's resolution?
Yeah. Couldn't hurt. I come in here and look sometimes, and I got like almost 100 notices. How am I going to look at 100? It ain't going to happen.
Well, I'll tell you, it's I'm actually glad that and happy that I can do this, because for a while there, Merle can testify that, because I give him a call. You get home from work, and after working 12 hours, don't get home until 2:30 at night, leave the house at 2 o'clock, and you're just tired, and you don't want to do anything.
No. Yeah, that's right. I mean, you can only do what you can do. We, you know, when we cut wood, we cut wood for, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours at a time. And, you know, if you got up at, say, 8 o'clock and you screwed around for a little while and did the stuff you had to do at home, and then you went out and worked that afternoon, well, that's pretty much a full day. So, you know, you only got so much time to get everything done. No, I really like that, because if I wrote down everything my grandpa said, I would be a smart man. Yeah, I agree with you. That's right.
You know, a lot of that stuff has been lost, and the only way that we're going to get that information out is to talk about it, because I'll tell you, kids today, they don't want to hear about on the old days of how this and how to do that, and how, you know, what kind of edibles you can eat and what kind of edibles you can take that are medicinal. They don't want to hear about that, and it's going to be lost. So
Oh, that's one good thing about YouTube is there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of false and there's a lot of good, but you can find it out if you're looking for it.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think it's really all that hard to sort it out either. Uh, you know, a guy that's in it for the money, they stick out pretty, you know, pretty much. So,
Old Camp is taking a break for that very reason.
because there's too many people to look at, I guess. Yeah, I know. Well, you guys that are making money and you got 2 or 3 thousand subscribers and all that,
Who's got that?
well, you do. You got what, 2,300, something like that. Look at all the money you're making.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you even go to work anymore.
Like I told you before, it's a great write-off
Yeah.
for a loss.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's heck if you do and heck if you don't. Seems like we live and learn, and you never get too old to learn. That's for sure.
Yeah, Sybil,
Sybil says,
that's a really good thing.
yeah, you know, come to think of it, we had a lady stop by our channel, and best I could tell, she went through almost everything that had to do with canning and some of the things that we've been talking about.
That's
And
cool.
so, you know, I don't know how old she was, but she was very, very interested in the canning and the putting the food up and all that. She was so there are more people getting back in it.
Well, right now I've been just getting hammered every day. People are checking out my cold weather chicken coops just because of the weather that's out here right now. There's a lot of good information, but like Walter says, there's a lot of bad information also. So you got to sift through the garbage to find the good stuff. Take
Yeah,
care,
and
Alf.
I'll plug my my other channel while I'm at it. It's
Yeah,
the Dixon News Network. The Dixon News Network, or not the Dixon News Network. It's Dixon News Network, and I haven't been getting as much up there as I wanted to, and I told some of the guys earlier that I would like to be able to get, you know, 4 or 5 things up in a day's time. You know, short, just a little kind of stuff to bring things to people's attention. And so try that out if you can. Dixon News Network, and might be something show up there that you like.
Thanks for
Or that
stopping by, Miranda.
could
and
help you.
We'll catch you next weekend. We'll be on here, and yeah, Bernie, splitting wood really keeps you in shape. After the
Good for you.
the first day that I started back into splitting wood, I found out how bad and out of shape I really was. This time around, I did a lot better. So it does. It keeps you young. Look at Merle. Right back.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm gonna have to get me one of those tires and put my wood in it and see how that works. Looks to me like it saves you a few steps. Put a tire up there and you put 3 or 4 logs in that tire and put a big rubber band around it. That way you don't have to pick it up every time. What'd you say? Walter says, I see a lot of winter camping in a quickie shelter. They claim it's below 0, but you can't see your breath. And the shelter's garbage. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I need to make that thing bigger. Or move it. I know that today I was able to explain to a newbie how to use a brake bleeder to suck out the air when dry canning and putting up dehydrated foods. Really? You know, I don't know about that either. I was able to explain to a newbie how to use a brake bleeder to suck out the air when dry canning and putting up dry. I'll check into that.
Oh, that's that thing that I recently bought that I haven't used. Hooks up to my vapor sealer to suck the air out of the jars.
Oh, okay, I got one of those. But she says a brake bleeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Reed Walters. Reed Walters' comment. He says, I haven't seen a lot of winter camping in a quickie shelter. They claim it's below zero, but you can't see their breath in the shelters in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they claim it's below zero, but you can't see their breath. Okay, Sybil, how do you use a bleeder? Yeah, well,
That's awesome, Bernie.
yeah, it is.
Bernie's been singing.
I used to do that.
I sing like a frog.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've been watching you work on that wood long enough that you've made me tired.
Yeah, you should see me. I'm tired. I did that just for you, buddy. I know how much you like watching people split and cut firewood.
Well, you know, it is kind of enjoying. It really is. I like to watch some of these videos where people are cutting and chopping wood. Yeah, it's about time for me and my partner to get back out there and do some more too. We've got my son-in-law's got well, he said about 100 ash trees that were dead or dying, and I don't know. We probably have not really made a dent in that 100, so we need to get those before they go bad.
Yeah, Sybil, they make those that actually hook up now to the dehydrator, or it's for vacuum sealing, and they work really good. I just haven't used it yet.
I have, and they're super. You put this thing over the lid, and you run it through, and you have vacuum sealed your jar when you're done.
Yeah. Walter, if you actually see some of those videos that you know are just BS, and honestly they can block you if you want, but I can tell you that if you leave a comment on there and call them out on it, and if they're any kind of channel at all, people will see that and just ask questions. Like, how come I don't see your breath if it's below zero? It puts them in a predicament, and that'll show that some of these things are false. But there's a lot of that. A lot of people on YouTube are just out there to make a buck, and they're putting out a lot of stuff that isn't true.
Boy, there's a bunch of them too. There's a lot of them out there with all they know how to do is put up clickbait and just ramble for 10 minutes.
Walter says
I hate it.
What?
When I click on something and it's trash.
Walter says that that global warming is going to start in a couple of months. Well, you let me know when that starts there, buddy.
Yeah.
I think me and whoever started the global warming are going to pick a fight. We should come down here and you can see his global warming.
I think he's talking about March or April there. when it gets a little warmer.
It ain't warm.
If you don't have any electricity, the hand pump ones save you quite a bit. Ooh, yeah. I'll have to look that up. I will. Yep.
Thanks for stopping
you
by,
want all
Novice, and we'll catch you on the next one. I'll have to get, now that I'm on third, I'll have to come over there and check up on you guys. I'm off during the day now.
Thanks a million for coming over. Hope you had a good time. Hope you picked up something that you could use, or at least had a good time.
Well, at least they know we're still alive.
Yep.
Well, I figured I was going to get off of here at 8 o'clock. It's already 8:13. So I'm going to have to, pretty soon I'm going to have to be cutting this off too. So I want to... Huh?
I'm about ready to let it wind down. Let's see.
I want to thank everybody so much for sticking with us. It was great to see everybody popping in here after so many months of being gone. That is so cool, and it means a lot to me. It's that seeing you guys and stuff like that. And now hopefully I can get some of these videos that I have saved up here done. Once I get some of the other stuff done around here.
Yeah, it's really neat to see the same group too. That it really feels good to see everybody.
Nope, Homestead. We are going to be, for a little while, now that I'm on third, we'll be back on Saturdays, 7 p.m. Next weekend, it will be on Merle's channel. It's like we did before, flip-flopping back and forth, so you can catch us on Micro Homesteader's channel. We'll be over there, just trolling Merle's channel.
Yeah, and we actually have a paid troll. You guys saw Tommy here earlier. I pay him to troll our channel.
So yeah, we'll for a while anyway, until they take me off of the third shift and put me back to whatever shift they're going to put me back next. But we're planning on doing our Saturday Night Live again.
We started out in here one night, and 5 hours and 15 minutes later, I think it was, we shut it down. Man, I was tired.
Yeah. Well,
But it was just the way things worked out. It was a long night, that's for sure.
after cutting all that wood, my butt's dragging. Cutting and splitting. So guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. If you guys have any questions, comments, things that you'd like to know about, or questions, you can leave them in a comment down below, and we will obviously go back and check, and hopefully the next live stream we can do that. Hopefully one of these times, if I have enough here, maybe we can do the Homestead, what the heck did I even call that before? I don't even remember anymore. The Homestead quiz or whatever it was. Well, it was a game night where we give the channels a shout out for they get the right question on homesteading. So we can do some of that sometimes when we're on my channel, and so hopefully we can have some fun coming back. So I want to say thanks to each and every one of you guys. Take care. God bless. And Merle, I'll leave it to you.
And anything you guys in particular that you'd like to talk about, or what have you, shoot us an email or something. We'll try to research it and see if we can get some answers for you. Other than that, I had a blast, and I think Mark did too, and we hope to see you. If not before, hopefully we'll see you next week.
Next Saturday, 7 p.m. Take care, guys.
And with that, adios.
shotgun. The feeling we chased, I'm wide awake. Take me away now. 'Cause I won't go down the same old path again now. No, I've been running out of air, so let me catch my breath. Feeling I've got's making me crazy. Riding shotgun. If I'm having a good time, don't you blame me. Feeling we chase, I'm wide awake. Take me away.